We tend to pride ourselves on our ability to think out of the box, but in reality, we may be doing just the opposite. After all, so much information is available at our fingertips. Solutions to complex problems can't be far away. Let's have ourselves a pocket sized pep talk because sometimes a potential solution is so obvious that it hides in broad daylight. I'll tell you about one and some lessons you can learn from it.
A Pocket Sized Pep Talk, the podcast that can help energize your business and your life with a quick, inspiring message. Now, here's your host, Rob Jollis.
Charles H. Duell, the commissioner of the U.S. Patent Office, once said this: "Everything that can be invented has been invented." He said that in 1899. We could smile at that now, but that kind of thinking haunts me a bit. I think it's morphed into something more like this: everything that can be invented will be invented with an app. For some reason, we seem bound and determined to believe that the more involved and technical a solution may be, the greater its value. I couldn't disagree more. Justifying a solution by the intricacy of the outcome can create blind spots, allowing us to miss ideas that might be right under our nose. As a matter of fact, I believe many solutions are symbolically 90 degrees away. An amazing example is occurring right over your nose in the luggage racks of some of the new airplanes being delivered by Boeing and other carriers. For years, airlines have been battling the luggage war, which alludes to how the airlines handle the throng of bags that passengers try to get on board with them. Seeing the battle that was brewing, the number of bags fighting to get on board dramatically increased when the airlines, in their infinite wisdom, decided to charge passengers who did not bring their bags on board with them. Sensitive to this battle, the airlines responded with a solution of their own. They chose to reduce overhead space, and the war ratcheted up yet another notch. Over the past couple years, this has been a huge problem that the smartest minds have tried to tackle, unsuccessfully. That is, until I boarded a flight to Atlanta recently. As we waited to board the flight, I was intrigued when I heard this announcement: "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a full flight today and we'll need your help boarding the plane. We're on a new Boeing Dreamliner today, and we feel with your cooperation, all bags will fit on board." As he entered the plane, I wondered what amazing technology I might be greeted with. Was there some sort of luggage act we'd be introduced to? Unfortunately, I was disappointed to find that the plane looked exactly like every other plane of that size that I'd ever seen. 3 seats on one side, 3 on the other. Pull-down plastic blinds, tray tables that fell from the back of the seat in front of you, and more. In other words, nothing seemed to be revolutionary. Little did I know, the innovative part was right over my head. When I went to put my bag in the bin above my seat, I heard the flight attendant say, "90 degrees, sir." I smiled and put my bag up and in. After all, this wasn't exactly my first time bringing a bag on board. As a matter of fact, I carry the shortest bag made that offers a suitor, which is a tri-fold section for suits, and there isn't a full-size overhead compartment this bag won't go straight into. At a mere 21 inches long and 14 inches wide, I'm no bag hog. Once I proudly placed my bag above, I once again heard the flight attendant repeat her message: "90 degrees, sir." Somewhat puzzled, I smiled, and with a sarcastic expression, I pointed to my bag snugly in place. I thought that the flight attendant might think that the bin would not close, so I reached up, closed it, and then opened it again. When I looked back at the flight attendant, I smiled smugly and shot her a fake, "Go bother someone else who's hawking overhead space" smile. Rather than getting a congratulatory smile from the flight attendant, I was once again serenaded with the words, "90 degrees, sir." In a flustered and somewhat frustrated maneuver, I turned the bag lengthwise and said, "I can't imagine you want me to turn the bag this way. I have no idea what you mean by 90 degrees. I'm not ashamed to say I was angry. I was angry because I've been on many, many planes and I didn't know what she wanted me to do. I think I was most angry, though, because the airlines have been trying to solve this baggage issue for decades, and I thought I was going to see something innovative and groundbreaking. Instead, I saw the same old plane with the same old luggage rack, or so I thought. Seeing and hearing my frustration, the flight attendant finally came over and showed me. With a sly smile, she walked up and, without removing the bag, she turned the bag 90 degrees. In an instant, and with one twist of the wrist, the overhead bins had just expanded by 40%, and every bag made it on board on that sold out flight. It's easy to make simple things complicated, but the real talent comes from making complicated things simple. Have you ever thought what a solution might be 90 degrees away from you? Maybe it's a friend who has access to information you could desperately use, but he or she has never been asked. Maybe it's a problem you can continue to complain about, but you've never really bothered to sit down, brainstorm, and solve. Maybe it's an issue that you've spent too much time overthinking. Maybe it's an idea that's sitting right under your nose, a mere 90 degrees away.
Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's show, please rate and recommend it on iTunes, Outcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also get more information on this show and Rob at jollis.com.